Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. So let us start our SST class. Take out your SST book everyone. Today we will continue with the same chapter which we had started in previous class. The name of chapter is Minerals, our mineral resources. Let us start. But before starting the topic, I would like to say that please do watch these videos because these videos are very helpful for you. You know it, and you all are watching it also. It's very good. I have come to know that you all are watching it. It's very good. So keep watching the videos. Let us start. In previous class, we had discussed about metallic minerals. Today, we are going to discuss about non-metallic minerals. Non-metallic minerals, it includes coal, petroleum, natural gases. Okay, so about non-metallic minerals we will read today, and conservation of mineral. We will study about conservation of mineral. That what is need to conserve the minerals. Okay. But before discussing about non-metallic minerals, let us see some differences between metals and non-metals. Okay, from non-metallic minerals we take out non-metal, and from metallic minerals we take out metals. So what are the differences between metals and non-metals? How we can just find out that this particular thing is metal and this one is non-metal. So let us see. First, difference between metal and non-metal. First, minerals are distributed into two parts, two groups, metallic and non-metallics. Metallic minerals contains metal, non-metallic minerals do not contain metal. Now, here are some differences between metals and non-metals. Metals are solid except mercury. Mercury is exception. Mercury is found in liquid form. Rest all the metals are solid. But non-metals may be solid, liquid or in gaseous states. Second one is metal is hard except sodium, potassium, etc. But non-metals which are solid are brittle. They are not hard. They are those non-metals which are solid, they are brittle. It's very soft. But diamond is the hardest one. Here also exception. Metals have metallic luster, but non-metals do not have metallic luster. Luster means what? Shine. Okay. Some have a dull luster. Metals have high melting point and boiling point. If you want to just melt the metals or boil the metals, you need very high temperature. But non-metals have low melting points. Metals are malleable. Malleable means when you will hit the metals, you can make the thin sheets of these metals. But non-metals are not malleable. When you will hit it, it will break into smaller pieces. After that, metals are sonorous. Sonorous means what? Sonorous means it produces sound. When you will hit the metal, some sound will come. But non-metals are not sonorous. Metals are good conductor of electricity and heat also. But non-metals are bad conductor of electricity and heat. Okay. So these are the differences between metals and non-metals, by which we can just identify that this particular thing is metal and this particular thing is non-metal. So let us start our study about non-metals. Non-metallic minerals are a special group of chemical elements from which no new products can be generated if they are melted. Okay, if we will melt the metals or metallic minerals, then we can get the metals and we can make different things of that. But if we will just just produce heat to excuse me, yes, when we will give heat to that non-metallic mineral, it will not convert into any other product. It includes coal, petroleum and natural gas. These are the picture of some non-metallic minerals like limestone, marble, gravel, sand, clay. These are the non-metallic minerals. These non-metallic minerals include coal, petroleum and natural gas also. Okay, and these are known as fossil fuels. Okay, these are known as what? These are known as fossil fuels. One by one we will study about these coal, petroleum and gases, natural gases. Let us start. Coal. Coal is an important fuel. Important in which manner? Coal is used to run machines in factories. Coal is used to produce electricity. And for cooking also sometimes we are using coal. There you can see coal is used as a solid fuel to produce electricity. In big industries or companies, coal is used to produce electricity. Coal is used as a solid fuel to produce heat through combustion. Mining of coal. Coal can be mined in two ways. Okay, there are two ways to mine coals. One is known as surface mining and second one is known as underground mining. Okay, here in your book also is written that we get coal by mining. In the process called strip mining, miners take coal from just below the surface. Okay, surface mining, that is known as the surface mining. In that, the miners get the coal just below the surface. They do not need to dig the ground. But in deep mining or underground mining, miners dig long tunnel to get coal that is buried far underground. Okay, so there are two types of mining. First one is surface mining and second one is underground mining. In surface mining, miners just take out the coal from the surface only, but in deep mining or underground mining, they dug a deep hole or deep long tunnel to just mine the coal. Here you can see through the picture also. This is the picture of surface mining. In this picture you can see no deep tunnels are over there. Coal is just dug out from the surface only. But here you can see miners have gone deep inside the ground. They have dug a tunnel and then they are mining the coal. Here these are states where coal mines are located. In West Bengal, Raniganj is the oldest coal field in India. In Jharkhand, Jharia, Bokaro, Dhanbad, Giridih, Karanpura, Ramgarh and Daltonganj. These are the places where the coal mines are there. In Madhya Pradesh also, Singrauli, Sohagpur, Jholia, Jhoila, Umaria, Satpura, these are the coal fields. Okay, and in Odisha, Talche, Himgiri and Rampur. These are the main coal fields of our country. Apart from this, from Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra and Bihar, also there are some coal mines. Here you can see through the map, these all black dots are showing coal mines of our country. Here. These all black dots are showing the coal mines of our country. Some are big coal mines, some are small coal mines, and these all are the coal mines of our country. Here you can see the tunnel. Inside the miner is over there. Has gone to get the coal. These are also the picture of coal mines. It is also a picture of a coal mine. In such a way, coal is just extracted. Now let us move to the next non-metallic mineral, that is petroleum. Petroleum, how petroleum is formed? Petroleum is a naturally occurring flammable liquid that are found in geological formation beneath the earth's surface. Where these petroleums are found? These petroleums are found deep under the ground. It was produced when sea creatures died and got covered with sand and clay. Under high pressure, these dead organisms change into petroleum and natural gases. Okay. When the sea creatures, in sea, many living organisms are over there. When these organisms die, then these organisms are got covered with sand and clay, and under high pressure, these dead organisms change into petroleum and natural gases. These are the types of petroleum: fuel oil, gasoline, kerosene. These are the types of petroleum. Kerosene is used to just light the lamps. Here, petrol is used to run the vehicles. These are some petroleum products. Here, this is the petroleum field, oil field. It is known as oil field. It is the oil field of Assam. Now, here it's written that oil field is an area with many oil wells. Oil wells, what is oil well? An oil well is a general term for any boring through the earth's surface that is designed to find and acquire petroleum oil, hydrocarbons. It is used to pump out petroleum. The oil wells are, in general term, you can say any boring that through the earth's surface from which petroleums are just pumped out. Okay, petroleum products are pumped out from the oil wells. Here you can see, this is the picture of Mumbai High. Okay. In this map, you can find out that where oil refineries are over there. Oil refineries are found in Digboi, Kochi, Mathura, Haldia, Barauni, Mumbai and Chennai. Okay, these are the places where the oil fields are located. Mainly oil fields are near the sea. You can see all the red dots. You can see almost all the red dots are nearby the sea. And this star sign, at some part you can see the star sign also. It is the refineries under construction. Okay. And these are the oil refineries of India. Main oil refineries are found at Digboi, Kochi, Mathura, Haldia, Barauni and Chennai. Digboi, where is Digboi located? Digboi is in Assam. Digboi is a town and a town area committee in Tinsukia district in northeastern part of state of Assam. India crude oil was discovered here in late 19th century and first oil well was dug in 1866. Okay, Digboi in Assam, it is the first oil field. Digboi is known as Oil City of Assam, where the first oil well in Asia was drilled. Okay, In Asia, first oil field was drilled in Digboi. Here you can see, this is the picture of Digboi oil field. Kochi Refinery. Kochi Refinery is a crude oil refinery in the city of Kochi in Kerala. It is the largest public sector refinery in India with the production capacity of 5.5 million tons per year. The refinery is situated at Ambala Mughal, around 12 kilometers east of the city center. This is about Kochi Refinery. You can see the picture of Kochi Refinery. Now next one is natural gas. Natural gas is found along with petroleum in some oil wells. Okay, not in all oil wells. In some oil wells, along with petroleum, these natural gases are also found. It is used as an efficient fuel. Nowadays, CNG full form of CNG is compressed natural gas. It is used in vehicles and it is pollution free. Here you can see these are the natural gases. And this is the use of natural gas. Okay. In industrial plant, 33% of natural gases are used. At electric power station, about 35% of natural gases are used. Residential building, 17%. Commercial building, 12%. And for transportation purpose, these 3% of these natural gases are used. Means these natural gases can be used for industrial plant also, for electric power station also, for residential building also, commercial building also, and for transportation also. These natural gases are very useful. Here this is one example of natural gas we are using at our home. Now conservation of mineral. What is need to conserve the minerals? These minerals are very useful for us, but these minerals are in limited amount. Here you can see minerals are in limited amount and minerals formation is extremely slow process. Means the formation of mineral is very slow. Therefore, the rate of consumption should be overshoot the rate of replenishment. Okay, so we should just reduce the rate of consumption of these minerals so that as it is very slow, as its formation is very slow. Minerals are limited resource and will get exhausted if not used judicially. If we will not use these minerals judicially, then these minerals will get exhausted. The total volume of workable mineral deposit in an fraction, that is 1% of Earth's crust. And mineral resources are finite and non-renewable. That's why it is very important that we should use these minerals in very judicial way. And how we can conserve the minerals? A well-planned, concentrated effort has to be made in order to use our mineral resources in a planned and sustained manner. Second, improved technologies have to be evolved in order to allow the use of low-grade ores at low costs. And recycling, main thing is recycling of metal using the scrap metals and other substituents are essential. Okay, we should recycle the minerals or we should recycle the metals in such a way we can just conserve the minerals. Both coal and petroleum are non-renewable sources of energy, and we should decrease the intake of these resources. There is a need to bring cheap technology for production of energy to meet our energy demands today, and also there is a need to make of the petroleum products more efficiently. In this way, we can conserve the minerals. This is all about the today's class. In next class, we will discuss question answer. Till then, bye bye.